Welcome back to Malonze Productions, where in Revelation WoW it is always nighttime. So today I'm going to go through Stormwind City. Now, I walked it beforehand and it's really massive. So instead of me walking and talking like I usually do, I'm going to do a little something different today. I am going to give you what I think real quick about the city, and then I already have it recorded where I went through the city and I turned off my HUD and I was in first person, so you can kind of get a full glimpse of the city itself. So you could just enjoy looking at the city without me talking over it. I'm just going to give you my 2 cents first, and if you want to skip ahead, you can go ahead and do that, because I don't care if you stay or not for that. But what I think is, let me see if I can pull up. So the map is not the correct map. I will say this. This is still the old map. I'm just going to use it for a little bit of reference. The trade district is absolutely massive. Loads of towns and loads of buildings rather, shops, the mage quarter and the park are like combined, and it's great. There is no cathedral square. Instead, it's like a lower dock and an upper dock, and the upper dock would kind of be here if you were looking at the map, with the lower dock still in the same spot. The Dwarven District is still kind of in the same general vicinity. However, it's vastly different. Instead of it being brown buildings that look like the Stormwind buildings but brown, it looks like a hobbit hovel, but a whole little district of it. Old Town is completely different. You're not going to see much other than a whole bunch of empty buildings. Now, I think the reason is because those are going to be for player housing. They did say that they want player housing and they already have spaces allocated for it. I'm thinking all of the empty buildings here. There's some empty buildings in the upper area over here, and I think there's some in the trade district too, but it's mostly Old Town here. Now, something you're going to see different is like, so when you go into the trade district and you take a right, somewhere over here is like a military area, and so is over here. But if you go to Old Town, like right in here, that's like where the horses are, the PvP vendors. That's where they pretty much are right there, but it looks militarized, like it's like more detailed rather. And the Stormwind Keep is kind of, it's kind of like way off over here, I think. You cross a couple of bridges and you get there, but it's kind of like hidden in the back. The first time I ran through there, I couldn't even find the keep. The second time I ran through for the footage you're about to see is where I found it. Now, I think it looks great, but I do have a little bit of a nitpicking. It's a little scuffed in some parts. Now, mainly it's going to be ramps and bridges. Those are the only two things I found that were a little bit scuffed. So, like, instead of having the two platforms, you know, with the canal and then a bridge connecting it, they have the bridge, but it's like they like match the terrain to kind of go down like a ramp, and then it kind of makes it jagged and sharp. And same thing with the ramp. Instead of using a structure, which I'm pretty sure there are structures in the game that are just stairs and ramps, instead of using a big structure in order to create a ramp or a stair system to go from the upper and lower area of the harbor here, it's one terrain formed ramp. And that, again, makes those jagged lines and edges that I've been seeing in a couple of different zones. A couple of different zones have it, and I know it's just the terrain forming, and I don't really think there is a way to get around there unless they are like... I'm not too sure. I know I've done a little bit of terrain changing in like some games. There is a way to get around there, but maybe they want it to be a more sharp, which is making that... I don't know. I'm not going to comment much on it. It's all nitpicking. You could just disregard it. I'm just saying it looks a little scuffed and I wish it looked better. But if you can get over that, the rest of it looks great. I mean, they have a mixture of the Stormwind buildings. They have some I think Gilneas buildings. They definitely have some Borealis buildings, especially over here by the harbor. But I think there were some. I actually think there were Gilneas buildings like that were like on the outside of the trade district, and then the cathedral. So there is no. Well, I didn't find it. If there is one, I'm gonna say that now. I didn't find a normal light cathedral, but I did find, interestingly enough, a Scarlet Cathedral. There's a whole... So, in the Cataclysm version, there, right over here is a big graveyard. The graveyard was... Let's see, I took the trade west, or east, rather, and then I kind of, like, hooked left, and there's a big graveyard right about here. I think I'm just kind of going by. I took a right and a left, but I'm guessing right about here. Big graveyard. There's a huge like Karazhan tower, and somewhere nestled in that graveyard area was a cathedral, and it's Scarlet. There's all Scarlet. And there's an emissary in there too. So I don't know if that means that they're friendly, or I don't know what that means. Over down here, there's Murloc. Some of them are friendly and some of them are not. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I just kind of left it alone. The Deep Run tram is there and you'll see it. Now, interestingly enough, like, okay, so let's say here's the tram here. In the back corner of the Dwarven District was a road that curved up off the map and was kind of, let's see, there's Elwyn. Let me click Elwyn or something. It was kind of going up towards Burning Steps. It's blocked off. You cannot get to it, but you'll see all of that in the footage up ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut up and roll the footage. I hope you enjoyed watching the footage of me just running through getting lost in Stormwind City. I tried editing it down as much as I could. A full lap running around the city took me about an hour. That's telling you the scope of the city. A full hour just to run one whole lap around the city. It's just massive. But if you enjoyed that exploration video, please subscribe for more. I'm going to be doing Elwyn, Westfall, Red Ridge. I need to also do Orgrimmar, as they have updated it finally from the first original beta, where it was just the Cataclysm version. Now there is a new Orgrimmar. I don't think any of the other Horde zones have been updated though, so I'm going to leave them as is unless there's a major overhaul. Then I'll go ahead and cover them later on. So thank you for watching.